Storm's going down. Not as much damage as they need to. Can should be thrown out as well. My computer's not
He's
ready
still
to
around.
explode.
Dragon's in the game. He's still here. He's got 4 Marines. And there's another one pulled in, and it's going to get Europe as well. Instantly shot down. That Harrier not doing a huge amount there, but it's going to be obliterated in the process. And
looks like the Ravens trying to Hunter Seeker actually pointed out the point defense drones. Battlecruisers are throwing down the amount of cannons, but here come the Vipers.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello from the MLG studio here in New York City, and welcome to Showmatch Thursday, where we're going to watch a best of 7 Heart of the Swarm. Of course, last week we had Polt and Damaga. The week before that we had Dragon and White Raw. Am I remembering
no,
this?
it was Seed Supernova, and before that was Dragon White Raw.
Polt Damaga was in there somewhere.
Yeah, it was the most recent one.
Okay.
The one before that, though, was Seed Supernova.
We've had a lot of show matches here, and guess what?
A lot of great players.
Every single one of those matches is available at our YouTube channel. So if you missed it, youtube.com/MLG, official MLGSC2. Let me repeat that. youtube.com/official MLGSC2. Please go subscribe, because we like subscribers, and we have a lot of awesome content there for you to watch. Honestly, I was like, was it today? Last night I was watching through some VODs of us playing the custom games, and I was actually entertained by it. Like, I was watching it, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool.
You just like the parts where you kept killing me.
Yeah, I won a lot.
Yeah.
See, now if you went back and watched it, it probably wouldn't be the same, because you lost a lot.
But, you know, our viewers,
yes,
they can come back and watch me lose a lot, and it'll be entertaining for them.
Exactly. But what if they like seeing you win?
Well, then they can watch
It doesn't
Rules of
exist anywhere,
Engagement on
does it?
Friday.
Oh, Rules of Engagement on Friday.
That's right.
Where it's self-critique?
That's
or
right.
Shouldn't you critique games you
You
lose?
can critique wins and losses.
Okay.
In the past couple of Fridays, they usually do like 1 or 2 losses, 1 or 2 wins.
Yeah.
You know, keep it even.
So, by the way, it was just announced that next week we are beginning our winter season. We'll have amazing best of 5 matches every single day between top players in the world. So as far as these Heart of the Swarm exhibitions, I'm not sure where they'll fit in, but we'll see what we can do. That being said, the schedule, what it's been looking like is Mondays and Fridays we've been having King of the Hills. Tomorrow, King of the Hill is still on Goswser on a 4-game winning streak. We'll have to see who he plays up against to get to his 5 games. Tuesdays, we have Arcade Spotlight. Wednesdays, we have free-for-all, team free-for-all stuff. That was yesterday. We had a lot of fun playing the 2v2v2v2. We actually decided to play for once, and we did okay. A couple mistakes here and there led to our downfall.
They did. Definitely mostly on mine with that Raven miss.
Okay. I could have been a little bit proactive
money.
about giving you money.
Yeah,
That's true.
that would work, yeah.
But today we have a show match, and Cats. There's a little bit of a story behind this. Naniwa tweeted about switching races in Heart of the Swarm. Cats is like, all right, you want to challenge? Join Zerg. BabyKnight was like, what? Zerg's not a challenge. I destroy everyone with mutas. Cats is like, all right, let's have a best of 5 show match for $100. Then I said, all right, why don't we make it $200, make it best of 7, we'll do it on Thursday. And then both of the players agreed, but the problem is, I think Katz's internet is down. I haven't been able to reach him on Skype all day long. So unfortunately, the show match between Katz and BabyKnight will have to be delayed. They will still play. They will still play off race. It'll still be awesome, but it won't happen today, unfortunately, because Katz, I think his internet is down. But the good news is, we did find a replacement. So I know it's not the story y'all came for, but it's still going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun, as I was looking for other Zergs who hate the imbalances that is Protoss. I should put that in quotes because I'm quoting other people. And Goswser has stepped up to the plate, and he said, you know what? axeltoss, I'll help you out. I'll play Protoss against BabyKnight. I'll show him how it's done. So we're going to have Goswser versus BabyKnight best of 7 off race. Should be good.
It should be great.
Yeah.
I mean, Goswser, the one thing I'm going to miss about Cats is Cats is a guy who can come up with crazy stuff and make it look cool. But when we talk about, Wings of Liberty accomplishments in StarCraft 2, Goswser is a guy who over the last year has had close to, if not more, tournament results than Baby. They've both done very well in their last 8 tournaments.
They're honestly, now that I think about it, they're 2 of the most up-and-coming players. If we're talking about last year compared to right now and the tournament results they've had, and the progressions that they've made.
The first half of 2012 versus the second half of 2012.
I agree.
Both BabyKnight and Goswser just stepped up big time in pretty much every single tournament they've played in.
Yep. So I'm really looking forward to this match, and it appears both the players are ready. So I'm going to start the game. Best of 7 between BabyKnight and Goswser. I want to ask you a question. Obviously, you're Protoss.
That's correct, sir.
So let's kind of get some perspective from you here. If you had the opportunity to play off race as Zerg, what would you do?
I would do a 2-base swarm host build, and then I would just make a whole ton of swarm hosts, and then use that to basically just keep trading free units for the Protoss having to pay units. It's like whenever you get something for nothing, like it. So 2-base swarm hosts, take a third behind it, just keep making swarm hosts, run them out to the front, reinforce with queens, right? Get a Nidus in there, spread queens through the Nidus, put in spines and spores, and set up camp, man.
So it begins in the chat there. Yeah, I like that idea, and I feel like this inspiration from you came from. I was screen watching you earlier today, back in our pods in there, and you're watching some swarm hosts do their thing.
I was. In fact, it was a replay sent to me via majorleaguegaming.com/replays from my Rules of Engagement episode after this community critique by the Batman.
Oh. Batman
himself, and he was
Giant Smurf.
That's right. It's his other name.
Yeah.
Very, very, very good player. One of the Art of the Swarm GMs. And he was struggling for his stat strategy as well, so that's definitely what I would use against Protoss as a Zerg race.
All right, we'll see what BabyKnight decides to do here. Now, BabyKnight told me he was going to mute us every single game, so he believes they are the pinnacle of imbalance of the Zerg race.
That would be my second choice. Like, if you asked me what I would have done before I saw that match versus the Batman, without a doubt, it would have been muteless.
But then you watched that match.
Then I watched that match. I'm like, no, wait, there's something better. And then, that's what you do in the mid game. And then if they're not dead yet, you do the Zerg.
Broodlord Infestor.
Exactly.
Always.
The ace in the hole, right?
Yep. Well, let's go ahead and introduce the players before we get too far along. The top left-hand location, we have the blue Protoss player, Goswser. You don't hear that said too often. Usually he's a Zerg player, of course. He is off racing for the purposes of this show match. His opponent in the bottom right-hand location is the red Zerg player, BabyKnight. It's also very weird for me because I've casted so many games of these guys, so excuse me if I mix them up accidentally, because in my mind I'm thinking, all right, Goswser is a Zerg player, he's the red Zerg, but no, BabyKnight is the red Zerg player. So I'm kind of hoping these guys are inexperienced enough with these races that we'll be able to make fun of them at least a little bit. I'm kind of hoping for that.
That's what I hope too. But I don't know if it'll come out true or not. Goswser, he's saying he's going to use the rank 1 GM toss build, but he's already made a mistake.
What did he do?
So, I don't know. He just said in text he messed it up. So, this is evidence that, your average Zerg player can't really play Protoss past 15 Foog. That's where it started messing up.
It gets quite difficult, because Zergs are used to just hitting that D button all the time, at least until the 10-minute mark of the game, because there's nothing really stopping them from doing that.
Already making a small error in his own admission in his build order. 2 gateways fairly early. It's interesting what the second gateway is going to be utilized for.
He just canceled the probe.
A third gateway. This could be some type of 1-base all-in.
Well, how weird! This is so weirdly timed, these gateways.
This is interesting. So is this going to be like a 4 or 5 gate, just mass sentry?
Is a mothership core next? I would think if he was doing that, he'd get a mothership core, right?
He would at some point. He would probably get to his probe level that he wants for the push first, then get it. Because the mothership core energy, you're probably going to have 1 time warp either way, and you probably won't get up to 2. So it doesn't matter too much when you exactly get that. You'd rather get the money first. That mothership core is coming out. Only 3 gateways, no 4th gateway. So this is almost reminiscent of like an old Noni build, or Tyler. Maybe the name is Tyler.
Yep.
Something he used to do a whole lot, he would do 3 gates, expand, add in 2 more gates, or just not even add 2 more gates, and then go on a pressure with some sentries and zealots.
He does have enough money for a Nexus here, so yeah, the Nexus does end up going down. Meanwhile, BabyKnight, let's see what he's seen. I think he saw like a zealot. He saw the wall off the 2 gateways at the main base, so
he
he's
just
already
knows
got
gateway first.
Yeah, he already has his early gas. He already has his speed on the way, and he's making about, how many Zerglings does he have here? 10 Zerglings on the field, 23 drones, 2 Queens on the way, and 2 Overlords. He is supply locked at this moment in time, so he probably would be making drones if he had the Overlords, and there we go. 8 drones just now in production for BabyKnight. So just getting some early lings out to take some map control, droning behind it.
Look at how well BabyKnight's spending his money, keeping it very low throughout this whole game. His Overlord scout timing is just immaculate, getting there so he can tell if his opponent's going Stargate, if he needs to react to that.
Yep.
Getting extra Queens because they're good against everything.
Yep.
I really like BabyKnight's position right here.
All right, let's see what he ends up doing. The Lings all falling though, but keeping his opponent back home, making 12
Using
more.
up a good number of force fields as
Adding
well.
on 2 spines.
He's you know, he hasn't seen the expansion. He saw a significant gateway army coming out at him. He thinks it's a decent chance that this is something like a 4 or 5 gate 1 base build. He's soon going to realize that the Nexus is there with that Overlord Scout.
It's a good scout.
But the Spine Cores are not wasted at all. I mean, if we look, he's definitely got the economic advantage right now, so he can afford to put down 1 or 2 Spine Cores.
I'm a little bit surprised we aren't seeing a third from him. He's going up to 800 minerals, not used to the amazing economy you get when you play the Zerg race. At least earlier on. 13 more drones in production here, not feeling afraid of any sort of push.
He's trying to put down that third, as you were talking about, but a pylon's in his way. Goswser pulling all the Protoss tricks, saying, I know how annoying that is when those Protoss do it to me. I'm going to turn it back on him. Goswser's got to get some more probes, because even without a third base, BabyKnight's got so many more probes in his natural than Goswser has.
Yeah, that's a good point. We'll have to see how these players adjust. I mean, BabyKnight, the third being delayed is not going to be too huge of a deal, but his drone is still there. It'd be kind of bad if it got picked up by Phoenix. Oh, that's a hallucinated Phoenix there from Goswser. He's like, all right, I'm Protoss. I get free scouting. I'm going for it. He has all those sentries. Of course, sentries do start with hallucinate now, so it only costs energy to use them.
Goswser's pulling a really clever mind games. He shows him a Phoenix, so they think it's Phoenix.
Ah.
And then he goes Phoenix.
Yeah. What? Yes.
Mind games.
I like it. Got more Phoenixes in production here.
Massive mind games being played. This is really gonna catch BabyKnight totally off guard,
You
because
think so?
he sees all these hallucinated Phoenixes coming in, and he knows they're hallucinations, right?
Yep.
So there's no way he can be ready for a real Phoenix. There's just no way.
There's no spore crawlers anywhere.
I mean, he does have 4 queens, but they're spread around, and once there gets to be 4 or 5 Phoenixes, you either need a bunch of queens all stuck together, or you really need those spore crawlers like you mentioned.
Of course, spore crawlers do not require Evo chambers for the Zerg race. Now that Heart of the Swarm is here, or at least the beta, we see Goswser expanding to his third base, taking down the rocks in the area. And BabyKnight adding more and more lings here, more and more spine crawlers. And there is that spire.
Well.
There's that spire we were waiting for. And now we're going to see Phoenix versus Mutalism.
I'm pretty sure when he sees the Phoenix, he'll probably get a couple of Corruptors.
Yeah.
I mean, with a new 5-range Phoenix, you really need something beyond a Mutalisk to deal with it, or have overwhelming number of Mutalisks, which will take him some time to get up.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the
He does
Phoenix
have
coming
900
in.
gas, and yeah, the Phoenix is coming straight to the third base. Queen is
Spore
going to be
crawler's being
dead.
built.
Drone's going to die, and yeah, there's the spore in the third. As you said, BabyKnight caught a little bit off guard here. Let's see how he reacts. The spire is almost done. Drone's going down into the third.
I think Yoshi just made a mistake.
What's his mistake?
He only got the 1 queen, and he had an opportunity. Oh, BabyKnight who pulled that queen back just in time.
Yep.
Normally, when you know you kept them off guard with Phoenix, you want to go and kill all the queens before the spore crawlers complete, because a queen for a lift is a really good trade. Even with the spore crawler there, you can always pick off drones. Because one spore crawler just micro the Phoenix back, right? Whichever one is attacking.
Yeah.
But you can't pick off queens when spore crawlers are there, because they take
Oh my
much longer
god.
to kill.
8 corruptors there from BabyKnight.
I like it. I like it.
You don't think that's too much?
I don't think it is, except that Goswser is going Void Rays now.
Yeah.
But you know what? As long as he adds I mean, we've seen Void Rays just humiliate Corruptors in Heart of the Swarm.
We have.
Void Rays are like twice as good as the Wings of Liberty Void Rays against Corruptors. They're just insanely good. But if he moves out with only 2, the Corruptors will take those down via superior numbers.
All right, we have Goswser coming into the third once again. Sees the Corruptors popping out of that third hatchery. BabyKnight not going to turn around and engage. More drones going down here. BabyKnight hastily adding on a spore crawler here. Might take a 4th fairly soon. His gas is really up there, so we'll have to see what he invests in next. Of course, he's supply blocked at this moment in time, and I think he just realized it, immediately making 4 Overlords in that production tab after making 1 lone Mutalisk.
It's okay, though. Larvae stack up.
Yeah.
So you're not really losing too much production. A nice
Unless
little,
you get attacked while you...
That's true. Unless you get attacked, then it's bad. You still lose some because the hatcheries don't produce the larvae if there's already 3 there. But you won't lose. I mean, the injects will keep stacking and stacking and stacking. 9 Mutalisks on the way, so it's going to be Mutalisk, Corruptor versus Void Ray Phoenix. You know, I've got to say, equal economy, I favor Protoss in Destroyed Air War.
Yeah, I mean, 4 Void Rays there alone, and look at that, supplemented by 5 Phoenixes, but 16 Mutas now in production. For
Holy
BabyKnight.
moly.
I think BabyKnight is going to have to rely on not necessarily going for that straight-up engagement, but again,
The speed.
dipping and dodging, going to the third middle line, going to the main middle line, to the natural. Of course, the Void Rays won't be able to catch up. Only the Phoenixes will be able to keep up, but with only, and I say only, with only 5 Phoenixes compared to 17 Mutas, that's a fight BabyKnight would be okay with.
What he can do is he can have the Corruptors wait so the Phoenixes can't chase the Mutas, right? The Mutas can get in there, do damage, and the Corruptors can just be... As long as he knows where he wants to harass ahead of time, the Corruptors can be there ready to defend. And Corruptors, of course, are faster than Void Rays, so they can still escape the Void Rays.
Ouch. That Void Ray melted away, went out on his own. BabyKnight taking the base at the bottom left here. I like this decision, even though it's further away than this base over here at the middle right. You know, when you go Mutas, that's
Take
something
them
you
all.
can do. Like taking bases across the map, so you know, you can forfeit them if you need to, as long as you keep your drones alive. BabyKnight
so
going
many
straight
probes
to the
are gonna
natural.
go down here.
Yeah, probes melting away. Goswser trying to return here, throwing down the photon overcharge onto the Nexus, and BabyKnight is gonna scurry away before receiving too much damage. But how many workers did he kill there? We got 11 workers killed in total for Goswser, 8 workers killed in total for BabyKnight.
So just kind of like equalizing damages Phoenixes did off the start. You know, saying, you caught me off guard, how about turning the tables on you? Goswser adding a third Stargate, really committing to the airplay. I really want to see him get the Fleet Beacon and the range upgrade for the Phoenixes, because if you get that, I'll hold that thought. Mutas again, killing more and more probes.
Goswser's like, you know what Protoss do against me? When I go Mutas, they make cannons, and I can't do anything. But BabyKnight swooping in there, taking those cannons out before they could be made. And Goswser can't say imbalance, because that's the nature of this best of 7. They're both playing their off races. You can't simply call the other player imbalanced.
Well, you could, but you'd be delegitimizing your entire career, right?
Exactly.
It's pretty easy to call other players' races imbalanced.
All right, let's
Not
make
so
a bet.
easy to call
Let's
your
make a
own.
bet. And you guys at home, you can be involved in this bet as well. Who's going to be the first one to cry imbalance? At any point in this series, in this best of 7, who's going to be the first one to say X unit is imbalanced, that's imbalanced, something like that?
To be fair, I don't think I can't remember hearing BabyKnight ever say something's imbalanced, really.
Oh, that's such a good point.
BabyKnight's like the least complaining person you've ever known.
That's such a good point.
So that's, I mean, I'm just starting out
So you're
there.
going with Goswser.
Yeah.
All right, let us know
Gotta
your
be.
thoughts, guys. Tweet at us at axeltoss, at axslav. And I think you're right. I think Goswser would be the first one to do it, but we might be wrong.
We'll have to wait and see. Goswser's army looks so scary. Like, there's no way
34 mutas.
BabyKnight can win in a straight battle. But, maybe he can. He thinks he can. He's going for it.
34 mutas engaging the Phoenixes, Colossus, Archons, Void Rays from BabyKnight. BabyKnight immediately backing away. I think the Archons are going to make a huge difference there. Of course, the splash damage going to do a ridiculous amount of damage to those mutas if they clump up. And BabyKnight just trying to...
The Void Rays are exposed!
Oh, Goswser losing track of his Void Rays, and this is an army BabyKnight can engage. Goswser immediately going to try to retreat.
Critical mistake by Goswser. He needed to have his Sentry Stalker Archon to support the Void Rays, because on their own, they were no match against an opponent who has 100% of their army into the air.
Yeah. You gotta stick with the pack, and BabyKnight was able to lure Goswser his Void Rays away. Maybe he said, come here, I have some candy. I'm not sure exactly what BabyKnight did, but it worked.
I think that's game here. I mean, without the air, his ground army's not going to keep up with this Mutas force. The force is just too big. BabyKnight's taking over the map. There's one thing Goswser can do to come back. It's getting Psionic Storm, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah, Storm... Oh, was the High Temple Archive sniped away, or did Storm finish?
I believe Storm finished.
Okay.
I'm 99%
Yes,
sure.
you are correct, good sir.
Oh, his Archons are vulnerable. Oh, but no, his Templar to back them up.
I don't know if I would feel confident attacking into Archons with a flock of mutas.
Oh, Mutas actually beat Archons pretty solidly.
The splash damage, man. What if he gets one shot off?
It's just it's tiny splash damage.
Okay.
Archons are like baby splash units.
Okay, you're much more confident than I am.
I'm very confident Mutas versus Archons. What I'm not confident in is Mutas against Psionic Storm. Psionic Storm splash damage radius is so huge you can envelop the entire pack of Mutas.
Oh, there's a storm going down underneath
Nice
the Muta
moves,
flock.
though, by BabyKnight. Dipping and dodging.
Yeah,
saying you
micro.
turn the weather on and I don't even care.
Colossus getting trying to get involved here, but they can't shoot up. Need to be careful. Goswser does not to lose those for free. Meanwhile, BabyKnight is taking every other expansion on the map. Another storm going down. That's actually a decent amount of damage to those mutas. I'm getting a little bit worried here.
Pumpkin Mulus and Wings of Liberty. This might spell the end of the
Halloween
harass.
style. Oh my gosh, BabyKnight soaking up so much storm there.
But yet he's at 196 food.
He is. You're right. I'm trying to make this exciting.
I broke the moment there. But you know what? He's out of gas. He's burned all his gas. So that Remax he just did, he can't do that again unless he wants to use just Zerglings.
Those mutas are so weak.
Oh, BabyKnight's got to watch his rally. Full rally mutas running into the Protoss army.
Oh, they do not want to go that way. Actually turning around to...
Oh, another one. His rally's all over the place. Red dots flipping all over the minimap. Just look at the minimap. There's red flying everywhere.
Look at his creep. Can we just look at BabyKnight's creep?
Well, I don't think Goswser has got an observer this game yet, has he?
Even so, you got to think BabyKnight's like, all right, I'll show these Zerg players how to spread their creep.
That's right.
But we got a base trade, and I can't think of a better way to start off this best of 7 off-race showdown between BabyKnight and Goswser. Again, Cats, I think his internet is down. It was not able to make it, but that match will still happen. So if you're just tuning in, BabyKnight versus Cats will still happen. But Goswser has been kind enough to take Cats' spot for the purpose of this time slot. So we have something to do. But Goswser going straight to BabyKnight's main base, taking down his hive. Who comes out on top here?
I gotta say BabyKnight. I mean, he's got so many more bases. He's building spine cores everywhere. The one thing is Goswser, he still has only a single Colossus. I thought he had a couple. He must have lost a few of them. I mean, Goswser's base is done, right?
Yep.
He still has a single Colossus, but that's gonna take a long time to get through the spine fields. I mean, look at like the bottom left bases of BabyKnight, right? There's so many spine cores there, and Goswser cannot afford to be losing his stalkers. He just can't. Like, if he loses too many stalkers, he'll just die to Mutas army, right? So he's in a tough spot, but he's still got to engage his spines because he has no economy of his own.
Yeah, and BabyKnight can just keep taking bases everywhere, and his spire has already been rebuilt, so he's adding on 5 more mutas. Goswser's base is being revealed. He has 300 minerals. Storms going down onto the mutas once again. Decent storms. BabyKnight just going to back away, get that regen onto those mutas. Yep.
Use that regen, still killing units. I mean, yeah, the storm tickles the mutas, but you know what? At the end of the day, not a single mutas died there. He got a Colossus, he got a couple pylons, he got stalkers.
Wait, BabyKnight with the frowny face.
I think he might be like feeling the Protoss agony, right?
Oh.
Because he's like, I play Protoss mostly, right? And I can understand. Oh, massive storms on the mutas.
Oh no, the mutas! Oh my gosh, they're all so deep in the red and the orange.
That
was
BabyKnight
almost a disaster.
I feel like he was tantalizing Goswser.
Oh.
I think that's what he was doing. And the thing is he killed every single...
He's trying to prove a point.
He's trying to prove a point. He's saying, you know what? That looked like I screwed up,
So
right?
you know what? My mutas are getting dirty. Let's wash off in a nice storm.
That's right. And the thing is, if you think about it, at the end of the day, he didn't lose a single mutas there, right?
Yeah.
He killed 4 High Templar.
Yeah.
So, I mean, once he regenerates, then result is the mutas will kill Goswser's entire army. Because without High Templar, mutas can just A move. Once they heal up, they'll just attack them, and it's done.
Are there any? I don't think there are any High Templars left.
No, there's 2 Archons, but I mean, they wouldn't cut it for this many mutas anyway. The Stalker's gonna try to do it alone, saying we can brave the challenge.
BabyKnight's like laughing right now.
He's leaning back in his
It's like,
chair, cackling.
You think stalkers are good against us, but they're not. BabyKnight with the Zerg victory screen takes game number 1 against the Protoss Goswser. Mutas.
They're good, man. They're good, and BabyKnight knows how to use them well. I think Goswser had the counter build, but what you gotta do is you gotta get the Phoenix range upgrade.
Okay.
And then just make a billion Phoenix.
Yeah, and remember there was that moment where his Void Rays and his Phoenixes got caught off guard a little bit.
The Void Rays, they're hard counter corruptors, so you want a couple of them. But Phoenixes with the range upgrade can actually outrange corruptors.
Yeah, so theoretically you could micro all day.
Yeah, and you can just get a couple Void Rays when the major engagement happens, and once you have Guardian Shields, you won't even need to worry about the major engagement. You really want a lot more Phoenix.
And then the storms weren't connecting. How do you make storms work as Protoss?
Against someone with BabyKnight's micro, I don't even know if it's that doable. It's more just like a getaway card.
Now, do you think BabyKnight will stray away from the strategy of Mutas, or does he
No.
think... No, he's just going to keep doing it. All right, guys, we'll find out. That was Game 1 of this best of 7 off-race showdown between Goswser and BabyKnight. Game 2 coming up. Don't go anywhere.